Imaginer sans tu chanter, l'amour nous passer, l'horizon argenté. Imaginer le fond donné, penser puis rêver, et puis se souvenir. Regardez le papillon voler à la lune. On a rêvé tous Noël. Le paradis mon cité, s'endormir le lèvres et se souvenir durant la vie.
Hey there guys, PrinceLaharlkun here, and welcome to my new Let's Play of Odinsphere Leifthrasir. Odinsphere was one of those games for the PS2 era that truly was one of the most inspirational games I have ever played. It's the game that single-handedly just made me love art, and the moment that I heard that this remake was coming out, I knew I had to play it, and let me tell you, after having played through the remake, and having played through the original, this is one of my all-time favorite video games. Like, straight up. Nearly number one, if not number one. I adore this game. I adore this game so much that I played it and I knew that someday I had to do a Let's Play of this. And I just really wanted to do it, so here we are. With that being said, let's get started with the new game. And of course, we're going to be playing with the characters' voices set to English, and I imagine a ton of you who were like, oh man, I'm super excited for this Let's Play Japanese game, are like, nope, not gonna watch now because you're playing with the English voices. But, oh well, whatever. And so we begin in a very, very interesting looking attic. Oh man. Alright, well let's go ahead and pick up this book, and let's give this a read. We'll begin to read The Story of the Valkyrie.
Griselda! Gwendolyn. It's so quiet now. The sound of battle seems so far away. It seems I cannot follow my king into the final battle. No, don't give up. Gwendolyn, please take this. I have no use for it now. This spear has slain many foes, making a mountain of corpses. The king, Father, will undoubtedly praise my actions. I'm sure he will. Do I see tears in your eyes? You're too kind, sister. Please, do not cry. Your older sister will leave the world as a great warrior. It is so dark here. Gwendolyn, I can't see you.
Griselda, I won't let you be alone for long. I shall be by your side soon enough.
We have lost this battle. There are simply too many enemies. Ha ha! So that is the Shadow Knight. Rumor has it he has made a deal with Halia to acquire such strength. What power?
I will face him.
Princess? You must not!
Kill me now. How long do you intend to keep me pinned down?
Go on. Run away. This battle is over. Any more deaths will just be a waste.
Oh, I'm glad to see you're safe. I had feared you were...
At this point, I cannot go back.
Please, wait. But what good are troops that have lost their leader?
And so, with that very somber opening, we begin with, well, the tutorial. So, Odin Sphere is a 2D action RPG. You play as you obviously play as... There's various characters you'll be able to play as, but for now we have to play as Gwendolyn, the Valkyrie. Gwendolyn has various moves, and we'll get to see them throughout this tutorial, and I'll probably kind of go through the tutorial pretty quickly. Like, you can do a double jump. You can also fly by hitting the X button, and this is one of the cool things about Odin Sphere, especially this remake, is the amount of maneuverability that you really have with being able to do things. Like, you've got a really traditional combo, which looks very slow, but when you're actually fighting enemies, it really picks up a lot more. You can hold down and press square to do a downward attack. One of the most useful moves, honestly, in the game. I find myself using the down attack quite often, and you'll see why here very, very soon. I think the game's like, go to the next level, dang it. Alright, so now we get into the whole point of why the game's called Odin Sphere. As you can see, in the bottom right, there's a little circle that represents where you are on the map. Also, that right there is also why you want to slide. If you notice, as we move to the left and right, we move around on that sphere. And so, as you move around, it's sort of like, it loops around in and of itself, but the game is still in 2 dimensions. Oh, I guess I gotta do the things the tutorial's telling me. You can also do it. You can do a charge attack, but honestly, I never really do them. I don't know, I probably should. Oh yeah, you also have the dash attack. I don't do that either. There's a lot of moves in this game that I don't do. Keep doing all this silly... Oh, well, yeah, you could do a rising attack, but... The rising attack's also very good for not only aerial enemies, but also just for like if you can knock it. Great. Good job. I got hit. I get hit by the weak enemies. There we go. But yeah, that's one of the really cool things about this game is just how the combat seems very. The combat's one of those games that's very easy to pick up. But it's one of those games that it's a whole different story to master it. And as you can see, like, when you're actually fighting enemies, the combat is so much more fluid. Like, when you actually hit the enemy... Oh, okay, Phozons. Yeah, I know, Phozons. When you actually hit the enemy, there's a lot more fluidity to it. And you can also, like, you know, dodge in the air and so on and so forth. And also incredibly weak, and this is really weird, too. There we go, there's that aerial combo I like so much. My 48 chain already. As you can tell, it's really not that hard to get very good chains in this game. It's pretty effortless, honestly. Phozons are collected in this version of the game. And I got an S rank. Yay. Oh, I already see a thing I need to turn off. Oh gosh, there's so much happening at once. I'll explain in a minute. Have you seen motes of light that appear from the bodies of the fallen? Those motes are known as Phozons, light that hold the power of life. Phozons arise from the death of living beings and return to the earth to foster new life. Man and beast are given life from this earth, and plants bud and grow fruit. Phozons are also called magic elements and are an indispensable source of magic for sorcerers. However, in order to collect Phozons, one must steal the life force of the dead, originally meant to return to the earth. You must never forget the weight of this act. And Phozons play an incredibly important role in this game, in both its plot and the gameplay elements. But first of all, we're gonna turn something off, because I forgot that that stays on. Where are you at? Color pass, initial mix, advanced voice, oh. Is it display settings? IntelliTips, yeah, I'm gonna turn that off immediately. Those get really obnoxious. I recommend turning that off because it's really, really annoying. Anyway, after you finish a stage, you get a ranking, and the ranking that you get will determine what sort of items you, well, specifically what sort of, how much money you'll really get from the particular stage. Like, you notice we got a whole bunch of, silver from that, and that's based on your ranking. But now the game wants you to talk to you about food, which is another important element of this game, and I'm now learning through Let's Playing that, holy crap, I have to combat the game trying to tell me things, and the things I want to tell you. Okay. I'll explain this as soon as... Okay, so... Man, I'm just like... I want to explain everything all at once, I'm so excited, but I can't, I need to contain my excitement. So, food. Food is another really important aspect of Odin's Sphere. Essentially, when you place... You collect seeds, and you place them in the ground, and once you do so, you can hold down the R1 and hold square to release the Phozons that you have, which you can see how many Phozons we currently have in the top right corner. Doing so will allow these plants to grow. And once they do, they will bear fruit, as the game says, and you'll get experience and levels. So, experience in this game, you do get experience from kills, but honestly, you don't get very much at all. Most of the experience and levels you get from this are gonna come from food. And thankfully, this game's super cool, and it's got everything in a neat and organized manner, and I really like that. It's so nice. I'm also gonna eat the second one, because there's no reason not to. And that pretty much summarizes food. Leveling up does what you expect it does. It increases HP and other stats as well. But one interesting thing is that all food will also permanently increase your HP regardless of whether or not you're in a level from it. So eating food has more benefits than just that. Also difficulty. Alright. So, real talk, I could probably play this game on hard. In fact, I know that I could. But I'm gonna play on normal, just for the simple sake that hard mode ramps up the enemy HP to ridiculous levels. And honestly, we'll be sitting here fighting them forever, and easy is just too quick, so we're gonna play on normal. Just for the sake of my own sanity.
Gwendolyn, you've returned.
I have an announcement, Your Majesty. Regarding the invasion, our troops have been lost. The foes had more reinforcements than we had anticipated. We were forced to enter a battle of attrition. The Valkyries suffered many casualties, including Griselda, our commander.
I know of Griselda's fate.
Griselda fought bravely for you to the very end. She entrusted me with this spear in her final moments.
She was the most gallant and noble of all my warriors. That spear is a special weapon known as a cipher. It collects spirits that haunt battlefields and uses their power to smite enemies. Henceforth, you shall wield the spear as you please. We shall launch another assault on the enemy. I shall personally take part in this battle. Send the troops when you're prepared.
Father! Is that all you have to say about Griselda?
Words will not bring your sister back. 'Tis no time for sentimentality.
The source of the conflict between our grand kingdom of Ragnanaval and Ringford lies in the past. Our victory over the mighty nation of Valentine was assured, but costly. Low on men and supplies, we had no choice but to withdraw. Those vile fairies seized their chance to invade Valentine and steal our prize, the Cauldron. The Cauldron is an artifact that can create infinite phosons. After all we've sacrificed, such a relic is rightfully ours. Anger at the fairies' treacherous deed echoed throughout the country. For the sake of our fallen brethren, we vowed to rise again and punish the fairies. Led by King Odin, we have long awaited our revenge, sharpening our fangs. Princess Griselda and Gwendolyn, the daughters of the late queen, are now skilled Valkyries. The time has come for war. We will break our vengeance on the fairies, we will wreak our vengeance on the fairies and reclaim our cauldron. This memoir shows the mindset of an Aesir soldier. In the battle that occurred after this note, the Aesir suffered a crushing defeat that ended with the death of the first princess.
Princess! We shall regroup with those able to fight. At the moment, I have 4 soldiers ready. Just say the word.
We only have half the troops we started with. Everyone is rushing to their deaths.
Oh, Princess, hear me out. That spear is a magical weapon called a cipher. The dwarves fashion the crystals out of jewels and use them in the weapons. It uses magical elements called phosons and is able to absorb and release them. It will surely lead you to victory.
What? Griselda's dead because she rushed ahead of the main forces. It's certainly not because I was late to the battle.
Lord Briggan. He may be one of our nation's heroes. But I hear he acts as he wishes because my father does nothing to stop him.
That dastardly queen of the fairies? She was the one who summoned the dragon.
That monstrous beast! She truly is evil.
My dear princess, that stone on your spear's a jewel from the netherworld. Did you know that? Traveling from this world to the netherworld. It's very dangerous, and only one man is able to do it, King Odin. If we can obtain that cauldron and fabricate our own jewels, Ragnanaval will have no more enemies.
Princess, that was close. I had heard that the Shadow Knight looked like a demon, but he seemed human to me. Why did he let you go?
Princess Gwendolyn, I am worried about you. Please stay strong.
Thank you, Miras.
I shall bring some tea up to your room later.
I'm a traveling vendor who's been allowed to sell in this castle. Is there anything you need?
So I'm gonna interrupt this here, and I'm gonna just say, as you just saw, this is generally where you'll start every single new chapter, or before you go to fight in battle. In most cases, I'm not gonna commentate over this, and I'll do all of my preparations for the next battle on screen. But at the end of every single one of these, you can talk to a vendor here, and you can buy various stuff, and it'll differ depending on which act you're on. So for now, all we can really buy is mulberry seeds and healing tonics. And I'll handle all this stuff off screen usually, but for the sake of showing this off, I might as well just buy a couple mulberry seeds, because I want more levels. Levels are nice. And yeah, I know. Items, blah blah blah. I'll explain that things game. Anyway, with that being said, let's head out to the world map and take on the storming battlefields in our first actual mission.